Edo governorship results start coming in. Vice President Kashim Shettima departs Abuja for United Nations General Assembly. Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management wants resources to be directed towards education, healthcare and infrastructure. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Olajide Bello. Results from 16 local governments have so far been announced by the returning officer, and here are some results of the election. Igweba local government, number of wards 10, number of registered voters 54,549, accredited voters 15,274, and APC had 5,907, APGA 10, Labour Party 494, NNPP 5, PDP 8,470, and PRP 10. Valid votes 14,989, rejected votes 278, and total votes cast 15,267. Asaka West local government area, number of wards 12, registered voters 186,449, accredited voters 54,304, APC had 32,107, Labour Party 2,116, PDP had 17,483. And then O1 East local government area, number of wards 11, registered voters 106,252, accredited voters 34,618, and APC polled 19,380. Labour Party had 446, while PDP had 14,189. The Independent National Electoral Commission has activated the INEC result viewing portal and uploaded the polling unit results, which results have already been collated from the 192 wards. A statement by Mohammed Haruna indicates that the electoral umpire, however, expresses displeasure over what it termed unwarranted there at the Benin office at Ikpoba, in which one of its staff sustained injury. The office pledges to carry out its duties according to the relevant laws, maintains that unlimited access should be granted to the accredited party agents, observers and the media throughout the period. INEC urges the security agencies to maintain the level of security experienced during the voting exercise. And Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja for the United States to attend the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly. President Bola Tinubu had directed the Vice President to lead the Nigerian delegation to the high-level global forum while he focuses on addressing pressing domestic issues, including the recent devastating flood disaster. During the session, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigeria's national statement, participate in key meetings off the sidelines of the event, and engage in bilateral meetings. A high-level general debate themed "Leaving No One Behind, Acting Together for the Advancement of Peace, Sustainable Development and Human Dignity for Present and Future Generation" is scheduled to take place from September 24 to 28. The Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management wants resources to be directed towards education, healthcare, infrastructure, while encouraging both domestic and foreign investment instead of conflict management. This is coming from the Institute's Registrar, Taole Joshua, at a peace walk to mark International Day of Peace. Our correspondent reports that the UN Day epitomizes joint aspiration for a world devoid of discord and turmoil.
Peace all over the world. Let there be love.
The significance of the International Day of Peace takes on a deeply personal meaning for some of these victims who had experienced the turmoil of conflict firsthand. Years of violence had left their community fractured and fearful, but on this day, an opportunity for healing beckons. The joint operations of the armed forces is currently bringing light at the end of the tunnel. As the world marks International Day of Peace, the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management is emphasizing that peace is not just the absence of conflict, but a collective effort to understand one another.
We are out here to commemorate the International Day of Peace. This is a day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate peace worldwide. And we come out as a body to come out to organize a peace walk to spread the message of peace in the city of Abuja so that people can key into what we are doing and join hands to collaborate with the Institute to see how we can ensure peace in our society.
How has the Institute been contributing its quota to peace building in the country?
We have been sensitizing and advocating, talking to people, making sure that violence is reduced to the barest minimum.
We have done well to create awareness because peace is something we need as a nation and as a people at the grassroots level, at the national level, and also even at the international level.
Yeah, sure. We are exploring other means. Road work is one of them. We have been to the school.
The Institute is advocating for a legislation to inculcate peace studies in Nigeria's educational curriculum. The International Day of Peace has become a powerful reminder that healing starts at the community level. One small act of kindness at a time has become a beacon of hope, lighting the way towards a brighter future. Olajide Bello, Nta News. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency (NISA) has released a new update on the Lagdo Dam water relay, stating that the water levels at the nation's critical stations along the River Benue show a steady increase towards flood levels. They observed that as at Saturday, 24 September 2024, the rise in water is at flood preparedness level. The agency therefore wants the 12 flood-prone states to put measures in place to contain or allow conveyance. They also appeal to the general public to clear canals, drainages and gutters to mitigate flood. Nigerian youth are taking proactive approaches to civic engagement and inclusive governance through immersive and interactive experiences. Elizabeth Omori reports that this year's AU Assembly simulation in Abuja, which focuses on artificial intelligence, is a prime example. Our secondary school students within the FCT reenacted some sessions of the AU Assembly, highlighting key political decisions for regional growth.
A little more patience as it is necessary to enjoy a short-term pain now for an economic gain later.
Divine Anthony played President Tinubu at this simulation at the instance of Africa Vision 525 initiative. She and her peers are not just declaring but reinforcing statements of fact as they affect governance and Africans. Policies on regional peace, gender equity, education, health, and other current realities were raised through the perspective of the younger generation.
My government only wants industrial growth, but we listen to complaints of our people and we will find a way to locate the companies.
Before you say you want president of a country, you must do research about that. What do you know about that country? And we try to help you with the latest information about what's happening in that country.
This initiative reflects the proposition of Diallo Telly in 1965 to promote participation of African youths in the development of Pan-Africanism. Partners, including the NTA, reiterated the importance of youth engagement in decision-making, applying artificial intelligence to prefer solutions to contemporary challenges.
Wherever you find yourself, in the little way that you can, try to influence your environment and bring a positive impact.
IT should not be seen as an end but it should be seen as a means to a desired end.
The AU Assembly simulation is in commemoration of Nigeria's 64th independence. Elizabeth Omori, Nta News.
The federal government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the original builders of Ajaokuta steel plant and members of their consortium for the rehabilitation, completion of Ajaokuta steel plant and National Iron Ore Mining Company in Kogi State. Minister of Steel Development Shuaibu Abubakar Audu signed on behalf of the federal government during a visit to Moscow, Russia. The Russian consortium led by MESSRS TPA had earlier visited the steel plant in Ajaokuta and the iron ore mining site at Itakwe in August 2024 for preliminary inspections, leading to the invitation for the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. Shuaibu Abubakar Audu, who is driving Mr. President's mandate for the revitalization, completion and operation of Ajaokuta steel plant and National Iron Ore Mining Company, said this is a bold step towards creating a sustainable base for the industrialization of Nigeria's economy, noting that revival of the steel sector will also reduce importation of steel products into Nigeria, which is estimated at over $4 billion annually, and will help save scarce foreign exchange. During the visit, the Nigerian delegation met with the Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade of the Russian Federation, Alexei Gruzdev. Back home, the House of Representatives is to engage the Minister of Education on how to strengthen the federal character principles in the recruitment process and address an infrastructure gap in federal universities. This re-echoed during the visit of the Committee on University Education to Bayero University, Kano, and others in Northwest. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Violation of the revenue streams to the Federation account and case of domineering in the recruitment process remain the source of concern in most of the federal universities.
And we have the details of those various infrastructural projects where you spent over 1 billion. The institution did not provide the breakdown of the overhead costs for the meaningful appraisal.
The interface between the committee and management of the Federal University Dusima, Kaduna State was put off due to the absence of the Vice Chancellor. The oversight engagement at ABU Zaria was also cut short.
And the management of ABU hereby summoned to appear before the committee at a date to be announced later.
The oversight visit also took members to the newly upgraded Federal Colleges of Education in Zaria and Kano. The new management were told to follow due process in recruitment and internally generated revenue spendings. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
You're watching the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. More reports and we return.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Thanks for being there. The Bureau of Public Service Reforms has released website and performance ranking for 2023-2024 by ministries, departments and agencies, with Federal Road Safety Corps top on the list. Ayo Deji Makinde reports.
Since 2017, Nigeria has widened its adoption of digital platforms as essential means of communication, service delivery and information dissemination. This policy document states the parameters for grading websites of MDAs and also identifies structural gaps, interactivity challenges, accessibility, security risks and poor capacity as grey areas which need improvement. Director General, Bureau of Public Reforms, joined by Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, attests to the thorough process of evaluation, which resulted in the emergence of FRSC as the best, ahead of Nigeria Content Development Management Board, while the trio of Nigeria Ports Authority, ICPC, and Nigeria Export Promotion Council tied for third.
All MDAs must have telephone numbers and email addresses that citizens can engage with them and make inquiries, access services.
The scoring criteria is published for everybody to see. There's no cutting corners, and we happen to be partners in the process and partners with the participants.
FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed, elated, rededicated to providing leadership and discipline in a fast-changing world of technology and digital economy.
Personnel that are on the road are using body camera to do their enforcement, and that body camera is linked to our monitoring unit in the office, whereby we watch what they do online real time for monitoring and for supervision.
315 MDAs were subjected to website performance and ranking review this year. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
The federal government has dispelled what it described as disinformation by an online news medium that the Goronyo Dam in Sokoto State is on the verge of collapse. The Minister of State for Water and Sanitation, Bello Mohammed Goronyo, refutes the claim during an on-the-spot assessment visit to the dam site. Dalhatu Abdullahi has the report.
The recent online report about the imminent collapse of Goronyo Dam facility necessitated urgent assessment visit to the site by Minister of State, Water and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Goronyo, who was received and was conducted round by Engineer Abdullahi Katsina. Engineer Katsina allayed the fear that the reservoir still requires more inflow, noting that it has the space of 200 million cubic meters to accommodate more water of the 942 million cubic meter capacity. Minister of State Water and Sanitation Bello Muhammad Goronyo stated that the ministry was disturbed by the fabricated report, hence its rush to assess the situation.
The essence of my visit is to look at the dam and then assess the capacity of the dam and condition of the dam.
While condemning the report as untrue, the minister challenged media practitioners, including bloggers, to be accurate in their reportage to avoid throwing people into unnecessary panic. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In response to the recent devastating floods in Maiduguri, Borno State, two of President Bola Tinubu's children, Sheyi and Yinka Tinubu, in collaboration with the Noella Foundation, their associates and some private sector partners, have mobilized significant humanitarian aid to support victims of the disaster. The team declared their support when they visited Governor Babagana Umara Zulum of Borno State and the Shehu of Borno following President Bola Tinubu's visit to Maiduguri earlier this week, where he called for private sector involvement in flood relief efforts. Shehu Tinubu and his associates within their private circle to mobilize substantial resources and deliver food, non-food and medical supplies to thousands of internally displaced persons affected by the floods. Shehu Tinubu said the contributions made are just the beginning, promising more support to Maiduguri and Borno State as they recover from the tragedy. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum expressed his gratitude for the support and assured that the resources would be distributed efficiently to meet the needs of the affected population. In addition to the material donations, 50 medical doctors within the network of friends were equally mobilized, are already on ground to provide additional support to the State Ministry of Health for the next few days under this initiative. A heavy downpour has, for the second time in 10 days, cut off another portion of Kano-Maiduguri Federal Highway in Sabongiri village of Katagum local government area of Bauchi State. The situation has rendered commuters stranded while the federal road safety personnel were observed assisting them. It will be recalled that both the federal and Bauchi state governments responded to ensure the first cut-off portion is motorable. An alleged ritualist and kidnapper apprehended with a female victim in a hotel room in the FCT, along with other suspects of fraud and various crimes, including vandalism of public infrastructure, have been paraded at the headquarters of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in SCDC Zone 5, Abuja. Serafina Okon Mekwe reports.
He said I should answer if I'm afraid of death or not. I said I can't answer that. Though I've seen death has happened to me. Then he lifted up the bed and took sellotape under the bed, tied my hands again. Then brought out white handkerchief from his pocket.
The young lady, of whom we are concealing her identity, is a victim of a ritualist whom she met on a popular dating site and agreed for a hookup in a hotel at Wuse, Abuja. The victim was stripped bound, hands, feet and mouths.
My intention was not to kill her. I'm not a killer, I've never killed before. I just wanted to take her phone. When the girls come, I psych them and talk fear into them so they'll be afraid.
Joseph Efe was apprehended by men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps at a hotel in Wuse when he came outside the premises allegedly to meet with an accomplice, leaving his victim tied up in the hotel room.
He was apprehended by my men who were on sentry duty, but immediately he saw them, he took to his heels. They gave him a hot pursuit, a hot chase, and he was caught, he was arrested.
The NSCDC Commandant Olushola Odumosu says the case will be transferred to the FCT Police Command for further investigations and prosecution. Other suspects were paraded for vandalism of armored cables from a transformer in the Kwali Area Council of Abuja. Serafina Okon Omekwe, Nta News.
The saying that aging is not a curse but a privilege, and creating a world of better care for the elderly echoes as the global community observes the 2024 World Alzheimer's Day. Actors in Nigeria's older persons care have been speaking on better coordination and to prioritize dementia care and services in the country. Oluseyi Adiagbo reports on commemoration of the World Alzheimer's Day in the FCT.
Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurological disorder that affects memory, thinking, and behavior. It accounts for 60 to 80% of dementia cases. In the statistics of Alzheimer's Association, the disease, which mostly affects people above 65 years, has over 55 million people worldwide as sufferers and expected to triple by 2050. Since its establishment in 1994, the World Alzheimer's Day is dedicated to raise awareness about the disease, and this road work is championed by Need Care Fit and Fresh, with coalition of civil societies for the rights of older persons in Nigeria, Costropin and other partners.
In Nigeria, we're talking about more than 1.5, and I'm sure that is underreported. Now what we're doing now is to create awareness, and we've come across so many people who have not even heard of the word before, talk less of knowing what it is.
A lot of people that have come to work in the city, you find that most of them retired back home. So it's to join us in awareness to take this thing to the grassroots.
Former lawmaker Dr. Eze Ajoko is in his late 60s. He tells me how it has become necessary to dispel misconceptions surrounding these conditions.
And when you see an old man wandering on the road, please walk to that old person and ask him, Baba, do you know where you're going, and all that. And then see if you can search the Baba, any contact on the Baba, and take that contact and call for the family to locate the person. A lot of missing old people who walk away from their homes as a result of dementia or Alzheimer's. It just makes you don't remember anything again. So we want government to come up with support for families with Alzheimer's.
Community health workforce program is being redesigned, and a module on elderly care is being introduced to ensure that we care for the elderly in our community.
The National Senior Citizen Center is working in collaboration with civil society organizations that have purview around Alzheimer's, around dementia, to ensure that this inclusivity we are talking about older persons are properly included to ensure that mental health is achieved.
While institutions of the federal government are driving support programs for better treatments and care, these groups expect better coordination that prioritize the mental care and services, especially at the grassroots. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
And that concludes News Desk Part 3 on Nta News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Olajide Bello.